Oh my goodness. This feels like deja vu, guys. Exactly what we experienced a few years back. The heartbreak, the annoyance, and the disappointment of losing a scudetto. That time it was to Milan. This time, unless it's a miracle, guys, it's a Napoli scudetto. It's an Antonio Conte scudetto. Oh, I just feel so dejected because that game, this Roma game, was just, I didn't see nothing, guys. I didn't see nothing. I in my preview, obviously, I didn't have much expectation. I was expecting a draw, but yeah, a loss. There's 3 in a row, guys. 3 in a row. We hit rock bottom. I think this must be the worst period under Inzaghi. I don't think we've ever lost 3 games in a row, 2 in a row in the league. And then obviously 3 in a row, including the Coppa Italia against Milan. And it's crazy. Hey man, see Anthony here. Yeah, of course, it doesn't ever happen. Like, it never happens on one particular game or one particular moment. It's throughout the season. I don't know if it would be banter of Anto, but it's we were saying that, I was saying that after we lost the Scudetto to Milan, because I thought, this is your chance now. But we've been there. At least we've been there now 4 or 5 years every season, apart from the Champions League final season where we fell off the cliff in the league. We've been there every season competing. So I don't know if it's banter FC, but it's been long coming. Yeah. I don't know what to say to you guys. I'm lost for words right now. What's up, Lucas? The Bayern or Bologna completely broke us down. I don't really think so, Lucas. I mean, you could say the Bologna game was the big killer, but at the same time, it's not Lucas. Even if we won those games, it's like, our eyes the boys just look completely finished on the pitch. Like, we're barely creating anything. I think our first shot on target today, I think, was 70th minute, maybe. I can't remember. We only had our 17 shots. We only created 1.1 xG, less than Roma at home with 70% possession. Like, we just have nothing in our legs. When we get into the final third, there's nothing. There's no juice. There's no energy. There's no strength in the players' legs. When they shoot, it's like little pea rollers. And the one big chance we had today was Barella, and he just toe poked it. I play football once or twice a week here in Leicester, with my friends, or with this app I use, pick up football, I guess they call it in America. And I see people trying to finish like that in my league. And when Nico Barella, our leader, one of our best players, if not our best player, finishes like that, it shows you what kind of day we're having. A toe poke that goes nowhere near goal. Yeah. I don't know what to say to you guys. I don't know. I don't even know why 135 of you are here, to be honest. It's such a dejecting day. Beautiful day out here in the UK for once. Actually, it's been a good month of good weather. I should be out there, going for a walk or doing something nice. But I'm here instead. First, wasting 2 hours of my life watching these guys bottling it again. And then here with you guys now, suffering. And it looks like, the fear that we all had in the back of our minds, the zero titoli season, 0 title season. It's very true. It's very, very real now. No Coppa Italia, no Scudetto. Champions League is always going to be difficult. That's always something that it's always a dream. And then, if you want to count that Club World Cup, I guess you can count it. We'll see when we get to it. in a month or so, but it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. And do we really want to spend time? I mean, I guess we have to, as fans, as we're broken individuals, broken people. We're gonna tune in to the Napoli-Torino game tonight, 7:45 p.m. to hate watch. But we all know deep down that that's gonna be even more heartbreaking watching Lukaku and co getting a win. Even a point for them now is enough. Pressures off them because all they need really is a point to go on top of the table and take the lead, and everything goes into Napoli's hand and everything goes out of Inter's hands. Yeah. Let's talk about the referee as well. I'll quick mention the refereeing today. A very disappointing, shite refereeing. Let's be real, all around, not just for Inter but for Roma as well. But at the end, I don't really understand how Ndika got away with the foul on Bisek. That's a foul. That's a penalty. Both hands all over him. The ball is coming to Bisek. Maybe Bisek, yes, goes down a little bit softly. Maybe he should try to stay on his feet and try to get a shot away at least. But how the hell it wasn't checked? How the hell the referee wasn't sent to have a look at it? I don't understand. Yeah. That should have been a penalty. But even then, even if we did 1-1 today, it just keeps us just hanging on for dear life. Did we deserve a draw? Maybe in some aspect, but not really. Let's be real. Did we deserve a draw today at home when you get a team shooting more than you, creating more XG, more dangerous chances? Do you really deserve even a draw? No, not to be honest. No, I'll be real. I don't think Inter even deserved the draw today, and that's the really disappointing thing, guys. Speaking to you right now, that's the real disappointment. It was so flat, the performance. Roma went up 22nd minute. They could have scored more goals in the first half, to be honest. They were the more dangerous team. And, look at this massive chance they had. Angelino blasts it into the middle, and I think Shomurodov hits it onto Carlos Augusto. And that would have been 2-0 if Carlos Augusto wasn't there. So imagine that. Imagine that. And after that, in the first half, there was barely really a reaction. It's just, there's just nothing there. There's nothing left in these guys. They just look absolutely finished. Absolutely finished. And the blame goes all around, in the Milan Scudetto season. Same like that. But I also blame the players a lot in that season. This year, it's definitely, I think, the management of the energies, the lack of tactical flexibility from Inzaghi as well. We can only play one way, and the only way we play is very demanding. The way Inzaghi wants to play, it takes a lot of energy, and these guys, they just don't have the energy to do it. So that means Inzaghi, the coaching staff, should come up with other ways of this team playing. Like, why are we the ones, if we have no energy, why are we the ones that are trying to dominate possession? Where are we the ones that keep suffering counterattacks? We have to keep sprinting backwards. We can't cope with it. We can't. Roma are happy to sit back, put men behind the ball, but we don't have the energy to do it. Why don't we try to play different ways at times? So this is also on Inzaghi. The bench players not having an impact this season. Last season, credit to Inzaghi and the players off the bench. Frattesi was coming in, having an impact. There were Carlos Augusto having an impact off the bench last season as well. The strikers, that was still an issue last year, really, because Arnautovic didn't really do much off the bench last year. It was Thuram and Lautaro carrying things, but the off-season, of course, we know we've been talking about it all year. Did we do enough? The 2 free transfers. Did we really need to buy Josep Martinez, the management, the board? So many fingers to point at the end of it. we're here. We're here now, holding our, you know what, in our hands with nothing else. Inzaghi, the team, and Interisti deserve one serious transfer market. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. We deserve investment. Oak tree this summer. There's no excuses. In past years, we've had the excuses. You guys know I explain it in my Excel videos and the financial explanations of why we can't do this, why we can't buy this. This summer, guys, with the Club World Cup money coming in, with the Champions League extra coming in, we are going to finally, first time I think since I follow Inter, guys, we're going to actually make a profit on the books. We're going to be making a profit. I've never actually seen Inter make a profit on the books. There is no excuses now for Marotta, Ozilio, and co to make investment into the team, to rejuvenate the squad, to bring in fresh energy like we did a couple seasons back, and give Inzaghi the team to compete. No, Inzaghi, if anyone asks, no, Inzaghi, I'm not Inzaghi out. Inzaghi shouldn't be fired. We should continue building with Inzaghi. But of course, questions need to be asked of Inzaghi as well. But we need to try to fight back at least now at the end of the season. That Barca game now, of course, all eyes on the Barca game. But if we play like this against Barca, we're going to get destroyed. Even Barca, even though they had to play extra time against Real Madrid, their style of play, Yamal firing on all cylinders, Pedri, they're going to destroy us. If we play like this, we're going to get destroyed. I'm okay. Nika says with zero titoli if we fight for it, but we have not fought for it. Yeah, that's the thing, that's my point today, Nikhil. I agree with you. I just feel like they're just giving up. Like even the Bologna game is Bologna with the team fighting for the win at the end, weren't they? And then they got the win at the end. Milan, we had a good first half against Milan, but then second half we just fell off. And yeah, I mean, I didn't care about that Coppa Italia, but today we tried to fight for it, but it was kind of very chaotic, very, yeah. And that's where, if there's no ideas, and then like this is where I go to Inzaghi, is there nothing really that we can do different? There's no different look that we can have to the team, really. Yeah, and then I also, we are going to get to Frattesi. I've chosen him as the picture of this, the profile picture of the thumbnail of this reaction, because he was atrocious today, like an embarrassment as a midfielder. That was an embarrassing performance from Frattesi. Change position, brother. You're not a midfielder if you play like that. If you can't touch, if you can't control the ball, if you can't pass the ball, you don't know how to make yourself free, you're not a midfielder. You're a striker, or you're a wing back, you're something else. Change position. But regardless of that, Di Marco, what has happened to Di Marco since the turn of the year? This guy looks like he's 37 years old, has played a full career, and it looks like he's got no energy left. He's been through like 3 divorces, has 5 kids. Like, how is this guy at 27 years of age also had, coming back from injury? So in theory, he should be fresh because he's coming back from injury, but you haven't had the busy period of playing non-stop last few games, and this guy looks absolutely finished at 27 years of age. Fitness team behind the scenes. I mean, Lautaro looked completely finished as well. I mean, with Lautaro, actually, I do understand, like, this guy has played a lot of football, but again, the performance today, the amount, look, I mean, he won 1 out of 12 duels. Like always with Lautaro, I'm not criticizing the effort. Lautaro, our captain, he leads from the front with his balls on the line, with his heart on the sleeve, but and we basically played with no Lautaro first half of the season, guys. If you remember, we had to wait for Lautaro till what, November, December, for Lautaro to start really turning back to his real level because of the whole Copa America stuff and lack of rest. Again, the excuses are there for Lautaro and they make sense. they deserve to be mentioned, but he gave us 2-3 good months now. Definitely in 2025, maybe he's probably our best player, but now again the tank is empty and the backups are not stepping up to the plate. Hakan, he's nowhere near the level of last season, guys. I even said last season Hakan was my favorite player, maybe even my MVP straight after Lautaro. This year has been, and I've been saying it since the start of the season, and I'm even when I like a player, I'm even more critical of them because I know the levels, or I expect very high levels. He has been nowhere near the level of last year, Hakan. Defensively, going forward, passing wise, taking control of games. He looks off the pace as well physically. It looks like he put everything into last season and his body couldn't cope. This after last season, it looks like his body is just like disintegrating because he put so much into last season, and he looks finished in terms of that level that we saw from Hakan. Barella again, he's so finished in terms of energy levels at the moment, so tired. But 3 goals, 6 assists is not a bad return. But it's just sometimes, could he add a few more goals, 5, 6, so a couple of especially more simple goals. He gives us all these banger goals, but sometimes could he just give us the tap-in goals? But I mean, today's wasn't a tap-in goal, but could he give us a little bit more in terms of final product? Maybe he could. What's up, Mattia, man? What's up? Thank you for reminding everyone to like the video at least, if you're here. Ian Kerr in the house as well. Kerr Mafia, appreciate your support all season. Shocking ref today, but we didn't do enough. Too many shots off target. First shot on target was a Dumfries header. Even Inzaghi's body language was off today. Yeah, Inzaghi today reminded me of the Inzaghi from the first couple of seasons where he looked a little bit lost on the side, very nervous, very worried. Just every time the camera was in Inzaghi, he was kind of like this, pensive and not the usual high energy screaming and running up and down type of Inzaghi. I think he knows. It all seems to be pointing towards that first season, unless we do something in the Champions League that goes to the second season. Eduardo says it's going to be a trophy season. I don't see anything we can get anything against Barca with this level Inter is playing at. Yeah, 100%. This is why we should focus on league. Months ago, going far in all 3 competitions brought us nothing. I agree, Mattia. I agree. But at the same time, really, Mattia, the only competition is Coppa Italia, really, is the one where we can say. I don't think you can say that Inter should have you can never say you need to break the Champions League, Mattia. As the club that we are, you can break Coppa Italia, but I don't think you can say just don't focus on Champions League. But yeah, I've agreed with you all season about we can't go for every competition. And again, this goes back to Inzaghi, Conte. At the same time, Conte had 2 competitions and he went out of the one Coppa Italia. So I guess you could say he was smart in that. He probably maybe did it on purpose. You could say the wily old fox that Conte is. And Napoli have played 15,000 less minutes than us, so definitely that has had a big part to play in this. But yeah, energy management, focusing, narrowing down is the same mistake, right? That Inzaghi did in his first season. And I hoped that he would learn from that. I mean, Mister, the schedule is so busy for us. Where is it realistically? Where would the Serie A really have moved it? We're the ones that are rejected playing it yesterday. They offered us to continue playing it yesterday and we rejected it. Where else are we going to play it now? Maybe they could have moved in midweek, but then that depends. They would have to wait for Inter. What they're going to do in the Champions League, It's crazy. And look at that. Napoli talk in the house. Oh, those Napoli guys. Make sure you check him out. Dom, friend of the channel. But it looks like they're the ones going to be enjoying. They're the ones going to be enjoying come the end of the season once again, like they did 2 years ago. No gas to the tank, true, but you lost in the first 25 minutes. Is it on energy issues? Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing, Dom. It just looks like straight from kickoff. There's just Roma were pressing harder. Every duel, every 50-50, Roma were winning it. Little loose ball. Manu Kone gets there before the midfielders. Even, Cristante, the oaf, the brick foot oaf in midfield today. Brian Cristante was getting to the balls quickly. Pellegrini, who's been an absolute flop for Roma over the last 2 seasons, was getting to balls, was moving quicker. Not that he had a great game, but that midfield today made the difference. Remember, it was supposed to be the Brian Cristante swap with a loan swap between Cristante and Frattesi, the two ugly cousins, the two ugly twins. He's definitely shined today, Cristante. Cristante showed himself to be way more useful on the ball, off the ball than Frattesi. Frattesi, 80 minutes, 4 out of 6 passes, guys. 4 out of 6 passes, guys. 4 out of 6. What are you doing in midfield? And again, the loss is not on Frattesi. He is one of the few players that at least has some energy and some running in there. Because if we had to play Mkhitaryan again, he probably would have disintegrated in front of our eyes. But we miss Mkhitaryan so much because this guy, when he plays, it's like playing one man less. And I had hope in Frattesi in terms of, okay, last year we gave you that year to adapt to the team. You come from Sassuolo. Inzaghi is a good coach. Can you develop and learn? No, this guy has not done absolute jack shit, guys. Of course, off the field stuff with Frattesi, his grandmother, we know things happen. Players are affected with these things, so respect for that. But we thought maybe the Bayern Munich game, is it going to be a turning point for him? Can he come back to at least being a duel winner, ball carrier, which is what he does for us? No, not really. Today, 5 out of 10 lost, 5 out of 10 duels, lost 6 of them. When he tries to carry the ball, he either loses it or gets fouled, but doesn't win the foul, but then loses position, never makes himself available. It's like playing with one man less in midfield. And it's over. Davide Frattesi's time at Inter is over. Pathetic dominance from Inter, 1 scudetto in 4 years. Yeah, this is also something you guys know I've been very consistent about. These 4 years when we look back, imagine in 10 years when we look back, guys, we might say we lived through it, but imagine we're telling our kids like, oh, there was a period where Inter, Inzaghi, we were playing the best football in Italy. Limone Bo, we called it, Lautaro Martinez, Hakan, Di Marco, Barella. Oh, what a team, Bastoni. And then your son is going to ask you, oh, that sounds like a great team. So how many Scudetti did they win? 1. 1 Scudetto and 1 Champions League final. And we're gassing it like it's some sort of, dynasty team. And that's the truth, guys. It might sound harsh, but that's the truth. When you look back, that's what you're gonna see. 1 Scudetto, 4 years. It's gonna be, Napoli fans know, like, when they look back to the Sarri era, like, oh yeah, Sarri, oh, the best football that we ever played in the Napoli, Insigne, Callejon, Higuain, Mertens, oh, Hamsik, Jorginho, oh, what Koulibaly, what football. 0 Scudetti. At least we got 1, but when people will look back in 10, 20 years at this era of Inter, they're not going to look back as a dynasty team. They're going to look back, oh yeah, that was a nice team. They played some nice football. But they're not going to look at that team like the triplete team, obviously. Not even Mancini's Inter. Mancini's Inter, of course, different context because that was post Calciopoli. Juve got weakened, relegated, obviously. Milan were weakened. It was a weakened Serie A in general. But when people look back, you see back to back Scudetti. You remember the players, iconic players. It's going to be looked back in a better way, for sure, than this Inter team. If this is how things are going to continue going, everything is over. Just 2 wins in 8 games, where the referee was shite, and Deco Dumfries twice. Yeah, 100%. Not blaming our loss today on the referee. Well, actually, the loss probably you can blame on the referee. We could have got a draw if we got a penalty because of the refereeing. But apart from that, I'm not saving these guys today. And yeah, of course, Darmian. I've been saying for 3 or 4 years since the Scudetto under Conte, you can't have Matteo Darmian as a starting wing back in your team. That has to change in the summer. All respect to Darmian. Great professional, always solid, but going forward, he gives you nothing. No threat. Sometimes, he can give you a big goal, but provides nothing. Adding insult to injury today as well, Pavard got injured, so it looks like he'll be out of the Barca game. Massive miss, of course. You get 2 players coming back today in Dumfries and Zielinski, and then you get 1 going out. That's also a big thing of this season. Did we get the preparation wrong? I think we can say definitely yes. The physical preparation. This summer we got it wrong. Without Thuram, we can say definitely as well now. Without Thuram, this team is nothing. Probably the worst time for Marcus Thuram to get injured, to miss Marcus Thuram right now in this period. It was supposed to be back for this game, and it looks like he might even struggle to make it for the Barca game. And I'll say it right now, no Marcus Thuram against Barcelona. I have no hope. I have no hope and faith. That's it. Because that is the one guy that can stretch the Barca defense, that high line in behind. Without him, we're not winning against Barcelona. Disappointed by Zielinski, lost could run back to recover it. Yeah, I mean, Zielinski, he's coming back in rusty now. I didn't really expect much from him coming in. But this is where it goes back to, Inzaghi. The squad utilization. There's really no one on the Primavera team that you can bring in. Roma themselves this season, when they were struggling, they managed to bring in Pizzilli from the youth team. He's not going to be, I'm telling you now, he's not going to be a starting midfielder for the Italian national team. I don't even think he's going to be a starting midfielder for Roma, to be honest, in the long term. But surely there's midfielder. We've seen little splashes from Berenbrook when he came into the Champions League. It doesn't have to be him, but someone from the Primavera can bring in some energy, something different. It doesn't have to be just the 25-man squad that you've called up. You have 10, 15, 20 other players from the youth team that are also supposed to be helping you in the moments of need. And he's just refuses to use that. And I you guys know me, I am the furthest thing possible from a Primavera merchant, but you can't tell me that in 4 years of Inzaghi being here and our Primavera being pretty much almost every season being either winning the Primavera Scudetto or being in the best teams in Italy and in Europe in the UEFA Youth League, that there was not one player that could have helped this team in 4 years. Again, that is not the reason why we lost today or the reason why we lost to Scudetto, but it's just little things that add up that are very frustrating, that we have to discuss. Our coach, our team, the way this team is built. I appreciate the support, Spardos. But yeah, Inzaghi also deserves credit for the way he's led us with this old team, very little investment. But today, I'm feeling negative, and we need to get the negativity out. The positivity, maybe we can reflect at some point at the end of the season. But let's be real, guys. Today is a shitty day. And today, you're just going to get the shitty version of me, the negative version of me. And Negativity FC, unfortunately, has to take the W. Shams, I just went back over the last couple of days. I went through the fire 3 months of season. First, or it maybe means the first 3 months of season, our players were bouncing off the ground. Yeah, it's completely different. Go watch just some highlights. Go watch the way, Barella's playing at the beginning of the season. Maybe not Lautaro, but Thuram, Di Marco. Di Marco is probably the best. Or go watch Di Marco, the way he is running at the beginning of the season to now. There's just a different spring in our step. We just look absolutely finished. Thought someone was shouting outside. The attacking part of the bench, yeah. Like today, who did we bring on? Who made an impact today? Only Zalewski. As usual, Zalewski tries to make things happen. Always a bit chaotic. Not necessarily great impact, but something positive at least. But Correa, I think he brought him on as a mezzala again. No change of formation really. It's just, the same things, just changing the pawns in the same positions. Nothing new, nothing different, no impact. And that's on Inzaghi as well. The keeping Correa. Like Correa this summer, he should have been gone. Or this previous summer, and not necessarily just Inzaghi, but the board has to be ruthless with these mistakes that they've made. It's going to cost you to get rid of Correa, so you have to pay him off. Pay him off. Get rid of him. What is he adding? Nothing, apart from one game against Hellas Verona. He got the 3 points for us. That's it. Yeah, Di Marco, in terms of defending as well, today he was struggling with Sule. If he's struggling with Sule, imagine what Yamal's going to do to that guy. The club has to provide Inzaghi with millions this summer. I feel for him 100%, not 100%. 100%. Milan fans, of course, are enjoying at the moment as well. Lab Gorilla, they might end up having a better season than us, guys. If they end up with 2 trophies, guys, and we end up with nothing, even in 9th position, that's a better season in some ways than Inter. Yes, we got into the Champions League. Yes, we challenged on multiple fronts. But again, when you look back at the season, Milan fans can make a strong argument that this is a better season than Inter. A Supercoppa and a Coppa Italia is better than challenging on all fronts and getting Champions League. Financially, definitely not. Financially, Oak Tree are going to be celebrating. Marotta is going to be celebrating. Yeah, we made a profit. Yeah. But as fans, we end up with nothing. Pazza Podcast in the house. Make sure you check him out as well. I know you always mention how Inzaghi never changes his player position, but I know he keeps playing for Tesi midfield. Would much rather Chala push forward there and put Aslani as regista. Yeah, again, I don't know if those things would help. Like, these are all like us being, couch. What did you call it? Couch coaches. Is that what people call it? But something, right? Like something different, surely. Like, because we don't actually have the answer to the other thing. Because we've never actually seen Inzaghi change something, so we don't know whether the answer is right or not. We just never see it happen, unless it's like in really desperate situations. Sometimes we've seen him throw on, 3 or 4 strikers when we're trying to chase a game. Like you saw, like how Milan. I'm not saying what Conceição was doing is right, but things are not going well for Milan. The 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 that they've been playing for years now. Conceição was like, right, that's it. Let's try the 3-4-3 now. They lost against Atalanta, but now they've bounced back. They won today against Venezia. And again, Milan is not like the shining example of things or how things should be done, but it's like, and Conceição is not known to be a 3 at the back formation. He's a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 guy from his Porto times. But sometimes if you feel like, the players that you have at your disposal don't fit the formation, or they need, different ideas, different positioning. Yeah. But then I want to see, let's revisit then Mattia next season when he has the 3 competitions as well. it's easy to say that he bombed out because he only had the two competitions. If we were just two competitions, it would have been fine, Mattia. But yeah, he did the smart thing. I'm not going to argue with you there. It's just that for us to do the smart thing is very hard, Mattia. Is you can't ask Inzaghi to bomb out the Champions League in March. Now you can't even do that because you still have to play the group stages went on until January. These longer group stages, and the Champions League is more games as well now. It's hard. The Coppa Italia is the one, yeah. Like since the start of the season, that is like the Lazio game, or even like, well, who did we play someone before Lazio as well? Like just you can bomb out of that. It's 100% agree with you, but it's also hard to do. It's like, does Inzaghi tell the team to not play in the Champions League, or like not try in the Champions League? It's very difficult. It's just completely, does he put the Primavera in the Champions League? No, he can't do that, Mattia. He can't. It's the Coppa Italia. That's the one way we can say that those wasted energies definitely biting us in the back. And I don't care if people say that's loser mentality. The Coppa Italia, you're not losing any sleep over losing that. Yeah, there's so much to say, Otlo. There's so much to say. I think maybe we need like a big group therapy session. I think I'll need to do a call-in session at some point this week, guys. I'll post it into the Discord. I think I want to hear from all you guys. I want to hear different opinion points. Yeah, I think there's a lot to say. We're really going to lose scudetto to Napoli, who lost the two of their best players. Yeah, these guys literally lost Kvara in January. Like, who could we compare that to? Like, imagine maybe to Conte, he wasn't as vital as he was to Spalletti, but again, that's one of the best wingers in the world. Is that like losing? Don't know. Like if we lost Mkhitaryan, Barella, Lautaro, Di Marco in January, it's like that, and they didn't even replace him properly. They replaced him with a Milan reject who's not really been even contributing. No, Okafor. And Juan Jesus is gonna get another scudetto, guys. Alex Meret is gonna get another scudetto. Jeez. Luca is in the house. He's really angry. Yeah, I agree. We didn't manage to score at least one goal in 70 minutes. We haven't scored a goal in 3. Oh my god, I actually forgot about that, Luca. That again, that is the perfect stat, actually, Luca. Inzaghi team, the one thing that we can always like bank on is that these guys will outperform the other team. Chance creation machine, will score more goals than the other team, especially in Serie A. I think Bologna had more XG, more chances in our Bologna game. They deserved that win probably on reflection. Milan, of course, the second half, they destroyed us. Today, more shots from Roma, more XG, better chances. That says everything. Once Inzaghi's Inter is being outshot, out-created, clear-cut opportunities, can't create any opportunities, that's when you know this Inzaghi team, there's something seriously wrong. Because I can always bank on this team, even if we go 1-0 down, to have, the ideas and the style of play to come back. But the fact that this style of play is so expansive, so energy, it requires so much energy, it's led to us now running out complete steam. And it reminds me of that period where we lost to Scudetto in the first season, 7 games, 7 points. Remember that period? That was the period where we lost to Scudetto, not the Milan derby that season, not the Bologna Radu moment. Inter's team is good. It's just super difficult to be consistent all season. That's the next step. 2 years ago, Napoli Scudetto could have been anyone, but we went flat from the Champions League quarterfinal on. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's hard. That's why, unless you have a stacked team, and that's why I never believed in the treble dream that a lot of Interisti had. It's impossible to do it with a team with the average age that we put out. Every average age of the team that we put out, starting 11, is always above 30. Yeah, of course, you're here. Now all we have to do is tune into that game and hope that Napoli fought. Yeah, Acerbi today, as usual. Let's give him his shout out because it was that moment. He was amazing. It was a 2v1, Acerbi on his own, Van Dijk, Musa Sissoko, if you know what I mean, that video that Prem Tards always like to use about, oh, amazing Van Dijk is. He managed to not concede a goal from a 2v1 situation. Yeah, Acerbi, Angelino versus Dovbyk. Sorry, Angelino and Dovbyk versus Acerbi. He manages to stall Angelino and then go to Dovbyk to, not give him any space to shoot. Yeah, Acerbi is definitely one of the ones to save today. Apart from that, who can we save? No one really. Acerbi. Oh yeah, Augusto. What a dog, man. What a dog, this guy. In a good way. Fratesi is like an ugly dog. Carlos Augusto is a proper dog. Fratesi is like, one of those dogs that's just, one of the proper ugly dogs that you just like, oh, why would you even have a dog like that? Augusto's yeah, Augusto and Acerbi. I agree with these rating, actually. The only two greens, Acerbi and Augusto, 100%. Yeah, we'll get to the transfer window in the coming weeks. I think we need to start making more videos about that. The excitement, at least in some way, of rejuvenating and changing up the squad. Hey, Debbie, hope you're doing well. Personally, at least, not obviously related to Inter, we're not doing well. Yeah, but it's not even about that specific game, Mesto. It's just like we just know where it leads. Those two, and the fact that this Coppa Italia semi-final, they still do it two legs. That's the annoying thing, that you end up playing these two extra games for no reason. Yeah, Fratesi is giving me proper Vecino Gagliardini vibes at the moment. Yeah, he's different. He just look different, and we've seen it since the start of the season, Eddie. And the luck as well. We're not getting any luck this year in terms of refereeing decision or little rebounds or this. Like today, Roma's goal essentially came from a rebound as well. As much as Roma played well in the first half, it was a shot from the edge, kind of bounces around the area. Shomurodov kind of hits it, and then it ends up in Sule's path, and then he scores from it. So yeah, and then this was the chance that we missed. Yeah, I have no hope. In Torino. We'll see if they can do anything, but I have no hope. But we have to keep going, isn't it, guys? That's the thing. We're still right there. That's the annoying thing. We can't even mathematically call it off until the maths doesn't put us out. The masochists that we are. We're right there, but now it's not in our hands anymore. It's in Napoli's hands. It's in Torino's hands. It's in the other teams that they have to play. It is what it is. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm going to go now. I'm really just sad about this, very dejected. The boys let me down. And it's another scudetto lost. Sorry, guys. This is the best I could do today. It wasn't a very high energy one, obviously, but leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Now we look forward to Barca. Ciao ragazzi, always Forza Inter.